again, it's Laura from Front Office Rocks, and I want to do actually a little bit of self-promotion in this video because I want to talk about my book, Step Away from the Drill, and talk about why I wrote it and what's included with it. Because I'm thinking if you're following my videos, then you might actually get a benefit from this book. So let me back up a little bit. When I started Front Office Rocks, the reason I did was to have a place where dentists could go to train people that didn't have dental experience. That was the ultimate reason. I knew, just like when I started, I knew customer service, and I knew how to troubleshoot, and I could multitask, and I had great customer service and management skills, but I didn't know anything about teeth. And there really was no place to learn about dental codes and procedures and scheduling and all that stuff we do. So my first thing I was trying to fix or help dentists with was having a platform you could go to train somebody who's got a great personality. We can teach them the teeth, we can't teach them the personality, so that's why I designed Front Office Rocks. My second part of this process that I'm in, which is really trying to help dentists with their front offices of their offices and all of their team, but mostly front office with Front Office Rocks, is to help dentists understand what should be happening in the front. See, the issue is dentists go to dental school and they're amazing at dental school, teaching you everything clinically you need to know. But they teach you like this much about scheduling, if that, scheduling and answering phones and marketing and management and all of that kind of stuff. So now that I have the platform for you to train your team, what needs to happen next, in my mind, is that the dentist needs to understand what should be happening up front. Because I think that a dentist understands what clinically what assistants should be doing. You know, they work right with you. You know what they should be doing and how they should be working with you and the patient. And you understand what hygienists should be doing, of course, because you know you do that yourself many times or have done it in the past. So clinically in the back, you got this. But when it comes to the front, a lot of times I hear dentists walk by, tell me they walk by and they hope the girls on the front know how to answer that question. They hope they're scheduling well, or they go to these seminars and they come back and then they want the team to do what they learned, but they don't know how to communicate it with the team. They don't know how to teach the team the things they need to know. So that is my second step in my three-step process. I'll tell you the last one at the end. And the reason I wrote this book was for step 2. So what I'm trying to do with this book is help you, the dentist, or if you're a team member, get this to your dentist, to understand more about what happens from in the front or should be happening. Not that I'm expecting you to come up and be able to schedule or do the things that we do, just like you wouldn't want me picking up a handpiece and going in back and doing, fillings on a patient. But you should understand what happens. Just like I should understand the process of how to do a filling or a crown, you should understand the process of getting a patient to accept treatment or to get the patient to pay or to build a productive schedule. So I wrote this book because a lot of dentists I talk to, they feel like they're going to fix their practice with more production. More production, more production, more production. Fit it in, fit it in, fit it in. And what I'm suggesting with this book is slow down a little bit and actually take the time to learn what you need. The book is Change the Way You Lead Your Dental Business for More Profit, Fun, and Control. So I'm trying to help you get more in control of your practice and understand what you should be talking to your team about, what you should be asking them, what kind of meetings you should be having, what kind of communication you should be having with them, and supporting them. Because unless you understand what's going on in the front, you really can't support your team. So I've kind of broken this down. It's actually very similar to my website, where I talk about your why, your purpose, your mindset, and then I talk about kind of each role in the office. And I know not everybody has, I have 5 roles here. Not everybody has these 5 roles. You might have one person, but this one person does these 5 things. So I break down receptionist, scheduler, treatment coordinator, financial coordinator, and office manager. And then accountability and making sure that we are being accountable to our team, they're being accountable to patients, to each other, all of that. So this book is my way to bridge what you should know about the front, what the front team is doing, and get you guys communicating. Now, there's a couple things about this book I just wanted to point out, which is why I was doing this video. Of course, we talk about our training in the back of the book, but then also I've put an index in here And this was a recommendation of a friend of mine because she said, you know, a lot of times we read books, but then when we want to go back, we know we read something about it, but we don't remember where it was in the book. So I actually have an index in here based off of her recommendation so that when you do want to go back to work on an issue, when you do want to go and talk to your team about a certain topic, you can find it easily. Lastly, in the front, I have a website page that if you buy this book, you can go there and you can download basically an implementation guide that's going to help you with this book. The idea is it's going to help you start the conversations, have the meeting outlines, be able to take this book and make it a working project, a way to really work in your practice, you know, get the conversation going. So this is not supposed to be a book you read and put on the wall and call it a day or put on the bookshelf. This is something that I want you to really use to help take that, you know, trained new rock star employee and then get them going, you know, understanding at your level what you want and you understanding what they need. Now, it's funny, quick story on this. When I first launched the book, I had somebody came and buy it from our booth and they left, and the next day they came back and they asked me to sign the book to their doctor. And I said, okay, sure. And I said, what would you like me to write? And she gave me the doctor's name. And I said, what should I write the message? And she said, doctor, read all the highlighted parts. She had gone through the entire book the night before and highlighted all the areas as the office manager she thought that they should be working on in their practice. And I was so thrilled. I actually should have gotten a picture with her. I was so thrilled about that because that's exactly what I want from this book. I just want the communication going and flowing between the front office and the doctor. And I really want this to be a way for you guys to start that communication and have this discussion. So minimally, the doctor should read this. I think it would be great if you almost did it like a book study, like a book club, and break down each chapter. Again, this isn't like set in stone policies. This is more of what's important about these things that we do. How can we implement them better in our practice? And what kind of conversation do we need to have to make the changes we need in our practice? So I just wanted to tell you more about the book. You can get this on Amazon. You can reach out to my team if you want to find out more about it, and realize like kind of how I broke it down. So if you have the book and you haven't used it that way, now you know the parts of the book. So again, my first part was you need to have a platform to be able to train people without dental. We have that with Front Office Rocks. My second thing is, as a leader, as the owner, you really need to understand what's going on in the front office for you to really lead them. That's the book. My third step in the process now that I'm working on, it's not out yet, but it's coming, is to help you hire. Because I also know in dental school, they don't teach you how to hire well. I used to be a recruiter. I love hiring. It's one of my favorite things to do. But a lot of people don't like hiring, aren't really good at it, never been trained. And so I'm in the middle of writing a mastery program for Front Office Rocks and a book to help you with hiring. Because if you can hire a rock star, you use training to train them well, and you know how to manage them and lead them, that's going to fix all the problems that you have in the front area of your practice. And a little disclaimer here, because I saw somebody made a comment on one of my posts. You don't have to be a dentist for a lot of this. I know I focus on dental because that's the industry I'm in, but this is across the board. You could be a chiropractor, you could be a dermatologist, you could be an ophthalmologist, anything where it's patients, it's customer service, it's clinical or not clinical, but it's taking care of patients, case acceptance. This is all the same. I just happen to be talking about dental. If you want to read this book and you are a chiropractor, just replace the word crown or filling with straightening or alignment or whatever you do. So that's my 2 cents about my book and why I wrote it, and I hope you check it out. There'll be a link here. Also subscribe to this and give me comments. What else would you like me to talk about? Because I want to be here to help you build front office rock stars and teams that rock. So thanks, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for listening again. Subscribe, make comments. I'll see you next week.